And I worry more about the future of all of us on the little ball with Trump. I do. I really do.
And I'm on the complete opposite side. Whatever happens here, we're going to feel it everywhere. And we're so glad Trump is in, because the amount of games that was played under Biden and Kamala, we're just so happy finally another person is in that's not imposing ridiculous ideas and policies to us.
Patrick Bet-David sat down with this woke political strategist, Ian Bremmer, and he absolutely set him straight on multiple different issues, mainly regarding the Donald Trump issue. This guy, Ian Bremmer, goes on the PBD podcast and tells Patrick Bet-David to his face that he did not vote for Donald Trump. And Patrick Bet-David just lays out every single reason why he is wrong for not voting for Donald Trump and not wanting Donald Trump to win the 2024 election. Let's get into this clip here where Patrick Bet-David shuts down this woke political strategist here live on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel.
Who is more likely to pardon his entire family?
Oh, yeah. At that point, you would have
Trump
said
or
Trump.
Biden? No, who
Trump.
would you have said?
I would have said Trump.
But who did?
It was Biden.
So think about what you just said. I asked you the last 18 months, they destroyed this guy's life.
Yeah.
And I said, do you think he's going to do the same? You said, we'll see. But when I ask you who you think is going to pardon his own family, he never pardoned his own family. And this guy pardons his own family.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's never happened before to see something like this.
Yeah.
Any pardons Fauci, any pardons Milley, any pardon.
I thought that was a huge mistake. Again,
but that's the part with that is as a something gives me. I'm not going to ask you who you voted for, but I have a feeling you didn't vote for Trump.
Yeah, I'm public. I didn't vote for Trump.
So let's you didn't vote for Trump, right?
Yeah.
But the question becomes, this is why I think the Democratic Party took the biggest black eye ever, because we were told this is the guy that's going to pardon himself and his own family, and he didn't.
Won't do it.
And we were told, Biden said, no man is above the law, and he pardoned his entire family. Do you know what happened to the Democratic credibility to me? Right here.
It got hurt.
Not hurt.
Completely.
This is not hurt. This is the first time in history. It's shattered.
Yes.
It's shattered, and it hurt a lot of the experts who were saying there, well, here's what's going to happen. 51 secret intelligence signed off that there's nothing in the laptop, and Russian collusion, Schiff, and all this. Credibility was shot.
I agree. I think that, again, I think the country is incredibly divided, and I think that what you are talking about is something that is very widely felt by pretty much everyone that would consider voting for Trump. And I think everyone on the Democratic side.
You know what's really sad is that you would think that everybody feels that way. You would think that everybody could look at this as objectively as Patrick Bet-David did and say, okay, Joe Biden and the Democrats, Kamala Harris, all these other people, I mean, they've been saying for the longest time, I will never, it's going to be Donald Trump that pardons his whole family. He's the crime family, Russia collusion, all this stuff. And then they go do it themselves, and it should be like, oh, okay, well, that's very obviously all a lie, and you were actually the ones projecting onto Trump the things that you were going to do. And then also you have the instances, and this is the part that should just be the nail in the coffin before anything else even happens, okay? Outside of them trying to throw Donald Trump in jail for BS charges, outside of them trying to literally take him out on live television, outside of all of that, you go back to the 2020 time period and you look at whenever all the Democrats, all the politicians, you had Kamala Harris, you had Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, AOC, all of them are coming out and saying, do not take this jab. Do not take the Trump jab. I'll never take the Trump jab. It's not safe, etc., etc. They said it all. And then as soon as they take office, the exact same jab, they're all taking it, they're shilling it, they're taking it on television, and they're not letting you into restaurants or on planes unless you also take it. So it went from, do not take this, it's unsafe, I'll never take this, to taking it on television and also forcing the entire country, trying to force the entire country, I didn't do it, but trying to force the entire country into taking it, which ended up being pretty dangerous now that we found out the truth about that whole thing. That should be the nail in the coffin. Outside of anything else, even if none of the other stuff happened, even if Biden never pardoned Fauci, if none of the stuff ever happened, that should be enough for the Democrats to say, you know what, I don't really trust these guys very much, but they still, after everything, still trust these people and still want them to win.
So I would say they do it. This was necessary because look how bad Trump was going to be. That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say. Where is there space for someone to actually have a conversation that can engage with both sides, that can be balanced? And the fact is, it's a really hard thing to do. It's easier in other countries. It's a reality. It's uncomfortable, but I'm not prepared to say this is, all kumbaya on the Republican side.
Your life is better today under this guy than the Biden or.
Look, I mean,
I know you can't
I spend most of my time, thinking about the world.
Mm-hmm.
I spend most of my time thinking about the 8 billion people that are here. I understand that I'm American. I understand that, we care about Americans first and foremost. At the end of the day, as someone who was born here by stroke of luck, and I'm enormously appreciative about that. But do I consider that Americans matter fundamentally more than everybody else around the world? No, I kind of feel like we're all human beings on this little ball. And I really care about where the little ball is going. And
I believe you're being sincere.
I'm being completely sincere.
No, what I'm saying is we've never met. This is the first time we're talking. I believe you're being sincere.
And I worry more about the future of all of us on the little ball with Trump. I do. I really do.
And I'm on the complete opposite side of my level of optimism to people around the world. We ran election night, okay? Election night, we ran the #1 live stream worldwide on YouTube. That doesn't mean anything to you. I don't give the numbers on what it is.
That's pretty cool. That means something to me.
No, what I'm saying to you is numbers-wise. What does that really mean? We're in D.C. We're talking to YouTube CEO and Google CEO. You know who they are. And how'd you guys run the biggest live? And what happened? We had 2,000 people on our hangar. You've seen the property. The hangar on the other side, right?
Yeah.
2,000 people are there.
By the way, I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comments. Are you, and take the political bias out of it for a second, do you feel more safe as just like this guy said, like PBD said, like Ian Brimmer said, if we're just viewing the human race as people on a ball floating through space, do you feel more safe with Donald Trump running the country and running the world's most powerful military, or do you feel more safe with Joe Biden running it? Because I think it can be looked at as two different ways. Like Donald Trump would be more like puff his chest out and say, we are the world superpower, you better obey us and not do anything stupid or else. Whereas Joe Biden's just going to be like, just kind of just chilling in the background, letting Russia invade Ukraine, letting China invade Taiwan. That stuff might happen, but he's not really going to retaliate. Therefore, there won't be any retaliation back. Whereas if somebody does cross Donald Trump, he is going to retaliate, and they will probably retaliate back. If like that story of, we don't know if it's true or not. It sounds like a very Trump thing to do. So I would think that it probably is true, where Donald Trump said that he will turn Moscow into a crater. If that were to happen, Russia is going to retaliate, and it could be in a nuclear fashion, which could spell end for us on this ball. So I don't know. I know that a lot of you and your knee-jerk reaction will be that Donald Trump, it's safer under Donald Trump, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to lie. With that being said, I think the short term is probably better under Donald Trump. But I don't know. It's tough to say. I know that you're going to get mad at me for saying that. I would rather Donald Trump be the president, no doubt about it. But in terms of just viewing the human race and trying to survive as long as possible, just be alive, right? I'm not saying thrive. I'm saying just be alive, not get nuked. I don't know if Donald Trump is the best guy for the human race to not end up in nuclear war. Okay? I'm just not going to lie to you.
You know where people were from? All over the world. Guy flew 24 hours from Australia to come. I said, why are you here? He says, you may not know this. Whatever happens here, we're going to feel it everywhere. And we're so glad Trump is in, because the amount of games that was played under Biden and Kamala, we're just so happy finally another person is in that's not imposing ridiculous ideas and policies to us. And so I'm in the
and I'm
mindset
telling you
of
the two countries that are closest to us, that know us best, that do the most business with us, that travel the most to our country, Mexico and Canada, overwhelmingly, these are people, it's not that they're scared of Trump, it's that they really think that things are going to be worse.
Trudeau goes and has dinner with him right after having...
Oh, that's horrible.
Trudeau goes and has dinner with him a week later. He resigns.
Don't ask me to defend Trudeau.
Well, you just did.
No, I didn't.
You said Canada.
What? I said Canada. I'm talking about Canadians.
Have you seen his what his rating is with his own people?
Have you seen how conservatives feel about Trump and Elon?
Well...
Even worse.
I don't know about that.
That is absolutely true.
Listen, I know what Pierre said. Like I heard what Pierre said when he said, Canada will never be the 51st state, and he has to say that. Of course, he has to say something like that.
It's because everybody feels that way.
And no, but the point is with Am I sitting there?
You know, I don't know if I fully agree with this. Just like Russia has propaganda, just like the United States has propaganda, like we're lied to in school about a lot of things, right? So does Canada, so does Mexico. You know, the people are propagandized in all these different countries. But if you talk to someone who is kind of more in touch with geopolitics and things that are happening inside of their own country and outside, most of the people who I've talked to like that would actually like Canada to become a part of the United States. They would actually like that. But then there's a lot of people in Canada who are kind of just like, you know, they're not super in tune with everything, and they've been propagandized to not really love the United States too much. And so they'll say things like, oh, I would never want to become a 51st state. Or I would never want to become a part of the United States. And you ask them why, and they have no idea. But anyway, let me know in the comments, though, what you guys think about this whole Patrick Bet-David shutting down this guy, Ian Bremmer, this woke political strategist who voted against Donald Trump, didn't want Donald Trump to win. And he's just laying out all the reasons why he's wrong. And I agree with Patrick Bet-David here. He is completely wrong. Let me know in the comments, you guys think about this whole Patrick Bet-David versus Ian Bremmer here live on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel.